And happy Saturday, everybody, and welcome to Woodbine Racing Live. My name is Elisa Blow, joined as always by Tbred as we get set for the final weekend of racing here in Toronto for the 2025 season. Can you believe it? It's finally here, the final weekend.
And the sun is making an appearance, which when it's cold like this, it makes a huge difference to kind of warm things up a little bit too. You were saying that your drive-in was a little bit messy.
Just a mess, you know. I mean, you would think that we had a storm warning in the Niagara region and, you know, maybe they'd send the plows out and maybe we'd use some salters. Not the case, but yeah, once you got onto the highway and into Hamilton, everything was fine.
Remember Homer?
Oh yeah,
Mr.
call
Plow.
Mr. Plow. That's my name.
That's
name
my name
again
is
is
Mr.
Mr.
Plow.
Plow.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Can you tell it's final weekend? Like
That's right.
We're starting to get a little loopier than normal. I think we can basically seal the deal on our leading rider, that being Rafael Hernandez, who had a very good day yesterday. He won 3 races on the program.
You know what we can do?
What?
We can do like what CNN does. The desk at Woodbine has declared that the winner of this election is one Rafael Hernandez.
And there was no tampering with that.
And that's a check mark we can give that. So we have declared him the winner, despite the fact we have 2 days of racing still to go. But yeah, listen, both have had tremendous meets, the top 2. And looking forward to seeing what they can do on the program today and tomorrow. Now, the yellow brick road, you know, usually leads you to good things. And the rail, I would say, this season has kind of been our yellow brick road.
It's been the yellow brick lane, hasn't it? And we had winners on the rail yesterday evening as well. The inside path had 8 out of 9 winners. Wow. And just 1 on the outside of the racetrack. Speed did pretty good on yesterday's program. You know who else had a good night last night was Bill Theranis. He won with Armino, and then he won the last race by a whisker with You and Me, Baby. Lots of claims on the program yesterday as well, so some shopping happening as you know, some of our trainers will be headed down south throughout the winter months, and we'll be able to start to watch them. We were just watching the pre-race show from Gulfstream, and you know, starting to notice some names that we saw here competing down there.
Woodbine replays.
Woodbine replays on the turf.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm like, wait a second, that's us. But yeah, you're right about that. Rafael Hernandez won 3, Keve won 2. So those are kind of our stars for last night. Yeah, you know, Keve, I want him to get, I was looking at this last night, so he's now at, he did get to 40. That's great.
Good
so he got 2. So yeah, 40 wins this year, which is fantastic.
Great guy,
for him.
really great guy, and got a stakes win this season too, so that was really exciting as well. Now, speaking of stakes, we have the Le Previant today, but if you were looking forward to watching that big turf weight card tonight, you got to make other plans.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. There were some Woodbine horses that were scheduled to go postward there, and they've called off the card. They called it nice and early, which is fantastic, and they are going to move that card to next Sunday, actually. Next
Sunday, yeah. We'll see what the weather's like. You know, in Kentucky when it snows, it can just be a nightmare down there. So, and they have some cold weather, but we're kind of used to the cold weather.
Now, I wonder how it works there, because Dresden Rose scratched. Like, can he go back in, or now that he's scratched?
Well, we don't. Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know why.
We don't know why, right? So, what I really do appreciate, and I think the horse people obviously appreciate it as well, is the fact that they did it early this morning, so nobody had to make plans. Because the thing, there were a lot of people that would have been coming in from various locations, and they can change their travel plans as well. Okay, we have just one more clocker report for you today, because it's very unusual that they would be clocking horses on closing weekend, because, you know, like, people aren't barely training at this stage in the game. Horses are starting to think about either heading to the farm or heading down south. But there weren't many that went, obviously. There was a worker, though, for the day today, which was Design, who worked in 47 and won, one of 4 workers at the distance.
I was talking with a trainer this morning, and they were mentioning it was like a ghost town up there.
Oh, I would imagine.
Very quiet. Because, you know, you put in all your preparations right now for the weekend. You know, all you would do is like a light gallop, getting ready for tomorrow. And if you're racing today, you might go out. Some might not even go out, but you know, obviously it's a bit of a slower time of the year. Ernie was probably up there just wanting any type of action. I think the track was only open for about an hour.
And that just makes a lot of sense. Plus, then, you know, we can get some time to get working on that track for the afternoon. There is a bit of a breeze today. Nothing too potent, but certainly a bit of a breeze. But it's nice to see the sun.
That's a great word, potent.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah,
it's almost as good as penultimate.
Almost as good as the potent penultimate. Alrighty, let's get started with the handicapping on today's program, and we'll kick things off in the opener today, which is a maiden event. They're in for optional tags of $25,000, or they're in for $25,000 tags. 3/4 the distance in this spot. And you're going to see some droppers in here. Silent Strike taking a drop from 40 and in for 23.5. You got the 4-horse for Tbred. Sid's had a really good back half of this campaign, especially in the last couple of months. So this horse hooked up, Angel Danielle, hooked up with minimum 40, who we were so impressed with, the maximum 50 sibling. Yeah, that one's on the drop here today. Then you got Cupid's Best Arrow, who will show some speed. You got Ain't No Girly Girl for Tbred. And Sid could keep that trend going. He's been in the winner's circle an awful lot lately. I think we saw him there, twice on Thursday. He could win the opener with this 6-horse.
He could. And one of the themes that you and I'd like to touch on is, especially I would say at the halfway point of the year towards the back end of the year, is the drop being made too late? And I wonder if that's going to be the case here with Silent Strike. The horse has been knocking heads against Tougher, has been running well. They make an interesting equipment change here today. The horse always wears cheek pieces. Now they're going to take them off here. It's kind of now or never for me, but I can't play the horse at 4-5. If this horse does go off at 4-5, I'm not betting the race at all. I'll probably just take a pass. But I think you're on to kind of the next logical one in here, that being Ain't No Girly Girl. And I just like the fact that you're in good form right now. Now, I don't know what she's been running against. I don't think it's much, but it's all relative to what you have to face in here. I don't mind what Ron's doing. Ron's going towards the least experienced horse in the field, who didn't get out of the gate all that great. You like the Jimmy Creeds, and more often than not, they are able to show a little bit of speed. And the horse didn't get out of the gate all that effectively first time out. So maybe that one's a little bit more effective on the front end.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I got a Sid exactor in that race because I think you give that one another shot, the Jimmy Creed. And also you can note too that Fraser Abley sees fit to give this horse another shot as well. He did ride the horse for 40. He's riding the horse for a quarter today. But getting back to that Coriat horse, he dropped one in yesterday. Never got wasn't even there for a whiff of it, right? So you're right. You have to start to. There are some barns that we can be fairly confident in when they're dropping, and then there's some that we're not.
And the Cassie dropper in the last that we were kind of ho-hum about almost won.
Almost won. But the one earlier on, the Alfred Bellows horse, didn't see him.
See, it's so tricky. It's so tricky to try and read those. I think if you like them, you have to back yourself up with something else.
Exactly.
Just have a plan A and a plan B.
Very good advice. Let's go to race number 4. Fourth race is where we kick off the pick 4. We were 3 out of 4 yesterday, so back to our regular schedule.
And you know what? That horse was not important.
We should have had Shinigami. We should have. But a $25,000 claimer, non-winners of 3 life, going 3/4 of a mile. And here we see an interesting dropper, and that is the 5 Brengun Girl. Offered up for 25 grand today.
Well, nice segue, because we were just touching on that, right? Like, how do we handle Brengun Girl? Like, at her best, she crushes this group. Now, in the Asperger's Bay, I'm willing to just toss that race out. I don't really think she's a route horse. I think she kind of likes sprinting a little bit more. But prior to that, she was 3rd against Take My Bourbon Neat. She was 2nd against Sweet Passions. Like, she's been running some really, really good races. And some of these Kevin droppers, they have not done very, very well. But, I mean, clearly the fact that you get Hernandez is a bit of a vote of confidence with that one. So obviously, a very, very dangerous horse in the spots. One that let us down last time at least was Catch the Drift. You and I kind of both liked that one, and I thought that she was a little bit flat. Lost to the Josie dropper, More Money Honey on that day. I'm going to take a shot with Dance to the Rhythm. The rail was so good yesterday. I don't mind having the inside. And Tea and Honey with an E, is really good right now, and the horse was in against that one. I think this is a very evenly grouped fields, unless they're taking a massive edge with Brengun Girl, who's going to win the race for fun.
I don't know what to do with her. Like, I think it's the fact that Rafi's sticking around. That's why I'm going to use her in the top spot, because even yesterday we saw Rafi ride a big dropper, right? The horse of
Total Sensation,
Ferrantes, right? Taking a drop from 40 in for 10. And just the fact that Rafi stuck around was good enough for me and good enough for a lot of people, and the horse ended up getting a win and got claimed out of that race as well. But Brengun Girl offered up for the $25,000 tag here in race number 4, and will be a horse that plenty of people will be using in that early pick 4. Let's go to the 5th race. 5th race is 25 non-2, going 3/4 of a mile, and it's where we kick off the Jackpot Power Pick 6. That carryover is close to $48,000, $47,925 with a field of 6. I know that a lot of people will look at Skylight Caper. This is Hernandez, a Tard, a horse who's coming off of a 3rd place effort when in against this class. But kind of interested to see what Rock Hard Rose does in the hands of Steve Churkop. This horse was a easy winner, went in for 15 and breaking her maiden. And I would imagine that's kind of what Steve is looking for. You know, obviously we got horses with conditions that'll fit the right classes down at Penn, Parks, Laurel, you know, wherever he goes throughout the winter months. But this horse could be interesting for start off the claim.
And there's not a ton of speed. I think this is the speed in this race. Like, I know Cloud Rider's got a little bit of foot. I think Amanda's got some really foot too, but I think you're onto the speed in this race. I like that producer Mike put wrapped up, and we're giving away wrapping paper today. That's cleverly done, Michael. And Rafi has like 6 or 7 on the program today, and he does get the call here with Skylight Caper. So I think you're on to a very, very dangerous horse. I'm going to try and beat you, but I think you're on to definitely the horse to beat in this spot. But I'm going to go towards Monty's In, because I like that Mobile reference, you know. And this one finished second against that one and was in front of Skylight Caper too, and had to win a couple of starts. But I just think it's really, really good right now. So I'm going to go in that one's direct and put that one on top.
I have like visions of Quiet Madalena all over again.
With Rock Hard Rose?
With Rock Hard Rose. Remember that horse? She just
Yep.
and tail straight up. And won her race gate to wire, and I think we might see something similar here. You got 5s and 6s in race number 5 on the program. Again, the 5th race kicks off the Jackpot Power Pick 6. Carry over here more than $47,000, close to $48,000 as we took a look at that Jock's race for the top spot. Rafi's got it all wrapped up, but Pietro's a busy guy today. He's going to ride every single race on the card.
That's what I mean.
Youth is on his side.
Going into this week, he rode 805 horses this meet. 805. Rafi rode 613. So while we looked at this Jocks race and we said, you know, it's close, and it was close for a while there. I mean, Pietro rode almost 200 more horses than what Rafi did, right? So
got a lot of experience this year.
And that's just it. So, and I'm curious to see how Pietro does next year. Like, will he still maintain the amount of business that he's got? Will he tail off? Because one thing that we found as of late, Fraser's business didn't tail off at all once he lost the bug.
No, it didn't.
Just kept on going.
Yeah, and he's a nice young man, right? I mean, he hasn't kind of burned any bridges, I don't think, because he's just such a nice kid. Let's go to race number 6. 6th race on the program is Maiden Optional 40. Oh, man. Is today the day for Regal Affair? I'm telling you, I had my hair dyed last week, and it's partially because of Regal Affair, who gave me grays in the first 2 lifetime starts. Now, you had heard some whispers about this horse in the very first lifetime start, which was November the 8th, and she broke horribly, but a little step slow there, and she had to rally, and she ends up finishing a really game 3rd. And then last start out, what happens?
She's in a really bad spot right now. It's one thing to be last, but it's when you're last and you have a horse pin you in as well, and you can't go towards the outside. And it just takes her a little while to get kind of going in here, and the winner's going to be Silent. Ballerina's going to win it. Rose Fortune finishes in the 2nd place position. The one positive, though, about this is when this horse does finish up, you might remember in that first career start, laid in really badly down the lane, and it probably cost the horse the win. Was a lot better here from that point of view, but just got going way too late. And just, I want to show you the gallop, just to add salt to your
I know.
How much the best this horse was. Just finally gets going and just can't quite get there, and then just keeps on going on the gallop out. My only concern, Elisa, is, and I understand why they have to do it because we're done tomorrow, but this is a really cramped schedule for a young horse.
It is. And you remember, too, just to add more salt to your wound, that we had keyed this
I
horse
remember.
in our pick 4 back on November 29th, and I think we were sitting on a good one that day, too. But we're all going to go back one more time to a Regal Affair here in race number 6 on the program. I think the 2 is a solid backup play.
We just saw that horse in that last start, and all of a sudden Rafi takes over, so that's a big time plus. I think Shoot's got the potential to do some pretty good things. You spoke of Minimum 40. That's the horse that was working with Minimum 40, that being Shoot. The 5 is capable of showing some pretty good speed as well. So I just want to see a race in which Regal Affair doesn't have any issues. Like, just I don't want to continue to have to make excuses for this horse.
I know. But today could be the day. You know what else is interesting? This first-time starter that Dale DeRusso's got, this is a half to Lac Macasa.
Yeah.
And we know how good Lac Macasa has been around these parts. So that's, and
we know how good Dale's been with the 2-year-olds,
too. And Dale with his 2-year-olds as well, So race number 6 on the program where we kick off the 2nd pick 5. Up next is race number 7. We're going to go 2 turns. It's an optional 32, and there's some Salty old veterans competing in this spot, and this will be the last time we're going to see a few of these horses competing here at Woodbine. We have a rule where you can't come back as a 10-year-old. So last chance for Journeyman, a 13-time winner. Last chance for Fly the W, a 22-time winner. These two old pros are going to hopefully go out with a good one here today. I think Fly the W is going to be tough in this spot, but I worry about Faber, the 3-year-old, taking on these older runners.
Well, the interesting thing about this race is the distance, because a lot of these horses never really go 10 furlongs, but one horse that's actually cutting back is Faber. And here's a look at Faber, who's had a really, really good year, despite the fact hasn't won a race yet, but has run well in the Prince of Wales, ran good. The plate was a total disaster. The horse got checked repeatedly going down the backside and the top of the stretch as well. So here we now go towards the outside. Now, the reason I'm showing this replay is twofold. First of all, because you do see a good rally here from Faber, but I also wanted to pose this question to you because, you know, this is a tough field, but I mean, the horse ran against Tom's Magic, came back to finish second at a Grade 1, and the runner-up came back to win the Ontario Derby.
Yes.
So how much of a drop in class is this?
I know. I totally agree with you, which is why I put the 6 in the top spot here. I think that he is the horse to beat. You know, they're going to have a lot of fun with this guy. He just needs that first win of the season, and it should happen here today, right at the end of the meet for the Unwellings. Were you saying too, like Mancetti's up for grabs in the January sale?
Horse of Age sale. And the one thing too that because I'm such a nerd, as you know, I looked at the sunset for today. It's right around 4:30, but they have to have this race. They can't have any delays because that mile and a quarter chute is not lit.
Oh shoot!
So.
Jeff. So that's not a nerd stat. That's a good stat.
So we got to be on time because if not, they're fine once they get onto the main portion of the track, but the actual chute is not lit.
You know what I'm thinking too? I think traditionally over the years we've always had a mile and a quarter race right at the end of the meet.
We used to have a starter mile and 7/8. I love that.
That was
race.
on closing day.
Yeah.
Because we'd run that and the valedictory, right? But yeah, a mile and a quarter. I feel like we used to have those two as on the closing.
I love them. I wish we had more of them.
Yeah, but you're right. So if we don't get this thing moving, you're going to be out there shining your car lights on the track.
we always joke with our paddock judge Harold. We always say, "Keep us on time, Harold."
Yes. Don't worry, he will be on time today. Let's go to race number 9, which is the on-track feature, the Le Pavillon, a mile and a 16th the distance for $100,000. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And I really is it just as simple as cutting a check for Hurricane Claire? She's coming out of Graded Stakes Company to compete here today.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it is as simple as that. The only thing I didn't love last time out was this horse and As One. They had a fight so early in that race. The horse wanted to go, and As One's like, no. And the horse like, I'm going, I'm 1,000 pounds. And As One's like, no, you're not. And they were not on the same page. And I wonder if that's maybe why the blinkers are coming off here today.
I can recall her fighting with Saheen too in the past as well. I think she's a gal with an attitude.
Oh, I think you're right. That's why she's named the Hurricane. But I think, it's a massive drop in class. But she was in a Grade 1. She's almost won a Grade 3. I mean, where else do you go in here? I don't mind Hint, and obviously Ella Diz is coming off a big run too last time.
Ella Diz is kind of like the unsung hero of the Cassia.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we don't really think about that horse a lot, and then she pops up with this nice win in the Ashbridges Bay. She's quietly had a season where she's been able to make over $100,000 for her connections. You know, she's a lovely horse, but to compete against the likes of Hurricane Claire, I think is going to be a bit of a tougher ask.
It is somewhat intriguing how, from a quality point of view, how much stronger the boys' race come up tomorrow.
Oh, the boys' race tomorrow is fantastic.
Yeah, like some of the best older horses on the grounds.
What a great way to wrap up the season tomorrow. The Overskate, it's a good one.
Which is cool that they're Ontario sired horses.
Oh, yeah. And it's just shows you the quality, right? Okay, last race. Guess what happens in the last race today, Jeff? It is a mandatory payout for the Jackpot High 5. And we have been touting this, talking about this, marketing this, advertising this for a while now. And we have this massive carryover of $269,656. And guess what? 96 cents. Now, when we looked at this one, you and I, when the entries came out, we were doing our work, we both zeroed in on exactly the same horse as a key for this Jackpot High 5. And that is the 8 Home for a Rest.
Right. Now, she is really good right now. She didn't have a great trip, 2 starts going last time out. What was the difference in this race, I think, was the trip, because the winner never leaves the rail, who's on the front end. Meanwhile, Dice K has to go to the outside because the rail's not going to open up. And if you look at how close this race gets towards the end of this event, I really think the fact that Dice K had to make this move probably cost him the win, because Per Factor was able to dictate things up front, cut the corner, and here comes Home for a Rest, who just can't quite get there. Now, that was 7. Today we're going 6. We're going to have to really, really hustle. And Elise, the one thing that I'm a little bit leery about in this race is I don't think there's a ton of pace other than Give Me the Boots. Now, the problem that I have with Give Me the Boots is she's kind of gone off form a little bit. Now, she's been kind of dueled in a submission in a couple of those races, but can she reach back for one more? And if it is a speed track, then all of a sudden her chances improve considerably in this race.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna, this thing's gonna sound crazy, but I'm just using her for her speed here, right?
Yeah.
To help out a horse like Home for a Rest. But Sinclarity is a major player in this race as well for Kevin Attard. I mean, she's had a great season, 2 wins, 4 starts, $116,000. The 5 Just Follow Me is from a live barn right now. This Theranos barn has been live, and this horse ran 3rd to a really good one, Enforcers Exactly. We got it a price. That day. So, you know, what was that game? Weakest Link, right?
Yeah.
Was it Weakest Link? Or I think it was, no, it's not. It wasn't the Weakest Link. It was the one where you had to pick the four things, the 4 choices. And you had one option, which was to call a friend if you needed help.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Well, we're going to talk to a millionaire right now, Robert Geller.
Oh!
Phoning my friend
All right.
to get some help. Robert, we need a little bit of your advice here for this jackpot high five, because we know you like to toss in horses at prices.
I sure do. I like Just Follow Me. I think the work is really a telling work, the recent work, and I know it is on the clock a report, but I also think Just Follow Me. Emma Jane won the last race yesterday. I think she can win the last race here. I do like what you said about the barn, William Theranos. I'm going to throw in some value later. Sinclarity, I think, will be a pace factor and can handle Give Me the Boots. We'll see. I do have to say, just on the fact that we've got Dale DeRusso, Rafael Hernandez, how can you overlook a 15-1 morning line? Bit of music, needed that run, has beaten home Tea and Honey with an E. There's a bit of value there. Home for Rest, the question, as Jeff, you mentioned, does this horse get there in time? But the 6 furlongs, if there's pace, should suit. And I know there's a move in Canadian Sweetheart. We want value. What's the point of going for the favorites? And there was a move on the lead early in the 2 starts back. Then there was a move late last start. If that move can be timed correctly, there's a chance for a bit of an upset to put into the 5, who I would box, because I just think you can spend so much time on it. And first instincts, that's who I like.
You know what, Robert, you're awesome, because I wouldn't have really looked at Canadian Sweetheart. But you got 2 totally different races from this horse in both starts. Just like you said, Robert, she'll speed in the first one, backs away, and then the next start, they bring the horse from off of the pace and closes like a freight train.
It was a deceptively good run. You know, it really, really was. And the horse missed so much time just now getting back in the mix of things. What do you guys think about YMCA, though? Like, the horse last time out against Easier and against Executive Success, and has been lightly raced. And then you have Rodeo from the rail. Like, do we give these horses some consideration at all, Roberts? Or I know you have to narrow it down a little bit, but just a couple of thoughts there on Rodeo and YMCA.
You know, Verdejo is good. I mean, gets into the finish from a fair way back. Sometimes is definitely a horse that you could easily put in, and so is YMCA. I just think it's more a question of how do you find a point of difference, because they really have got ability to be in the top 5 for sure.
I would toss in the Spirit Bear as well, because you know, we did talk to Donnie about that one. He's kind of high on her.
Yeah, a good run last time out and finished in the 3rd place position. We're going to hear more from Robert, aren't we?
Yes, stay put, Robert. Just, you know, run in there, grab a donut, and then come back, because we want to talk to you about some of your top moments from the 2025 racing season. We're going to pass along our plays of the day as well, and I think we have some similar ones today.
I think we do.
It was kind of hard. I couldn't find like a horse that I wanted to play that offered us a lot of value today. What were you able to
I don't think I really have a price play either. Come to think of it, we'll take a look at them right now. Nope, I have 2 watch listers.
I know, it's hard.
I think Supergirl's going to be really tough in the 3rd.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Home for a Rest. So this is not really anything of earth-shattering news.
No, we're not swinging for the fences.
No,
but we have keys.
I'm just going for a base hit.
Yeah, we want to be 4 for 4 is what we want to
Yeah.
be. Okay, I have very similar to you as well. Regal Affair. home for a rest. But I mean, Hurricane Claire, Chuck, eating weasel. I'll call myself that. But this Rock Hard Rose, I'm kind of interested to see that one going first. Start off with a claim because
same.
we saw a Chirkop horse on Thursday night just go straight to the front and keep on going, and the same thing might happen with Rock Hard Rose. We got picks from upstairs. From Ron and Doug and our Woodbine TV producer. We've got awesome beat for Ron Gearking, 7-2 on that one in the second race on the program. Woodbine TV prod has Dance to the Rhythm in race number 4 to kick off the pick 4. And Zarabella, I think we've all kind of scratched on to Zarabella. A lot of us have in race number 8 because there's a pretty significant scratch in that race.
Yeah, it looks really, really large. Now, going to kill Doug's price, I think, a little bit now in that race.
Yeah, that's the scratch of going lucky.
Yeah. I went towards Nina in there with Cody and Sky.
Yes, I have Nina in too, but I don't know what to make of that work on December the 6th. That's an awfully slow workout, but the barn had a nice win the other day. We have clocker horses, speaking of workouts, and we've got 2 of them for you today. Faber comes up for us in race number 7. And, you know, this season, Ernie has really zeroed in on a lot of these Kevin Attard runners.
Yep.
And he's got another one that he's put the bullseye on today, that being Faber. And we're excited to see this horse as well. It was the work of the day, the best of 17 when he breezed in 48-1 on the 7th. He's coming back off a layoff, we know that. And then Just Follow Me's from a hot barn right now, that being the Bill Theranis outfit, who won 2 races on the program yesterday, including the last race that they were able to win by a tooth and a nail. So that was quite exciting as well. As promised, we are going to talk to Robert because we want to get his opinions and see what some of his highlights were on the 2025 season. And we'll take a look at that with Robert right after this commercial break.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
"24 minutes before race number 1 of 10 on the final Saturday." Ooh, can you believe that?
The penultimate card.
That's right. And somebody who stole your word right off of the top of the show is Robert
You'll
Geller.
be hearing from my lawyer.
Okay, so yesterday we took a look at some of the best grass races from the season. Tomorrow we'll look at some of the highlights of the 2025 campaign. But Robert, we want to hear what you thought were some of the best races and maybe some of the people that we should be watching for as well.
Yeah, you covered a lot, and I totally agree with some of those races that you have shown on the turf. They were phenomenal. Certainly very memorable was Notable Speech, and definitely Tom's Magic. I thought they were terrific races, and Sheffield's Pretty. As far as across the board, I mean, they've been, you know, the 3-year-old category has been pretty interesting. It's very evenly matched. We saw a lot of very competitive horses run away again, Boreal Spirit and definitely Mancetti, as we know, and you can go on with a number of them, including Tom's Magic, but I wanted to point maybe towards where I feel there's movement in each of the categories for trainer, for jockey, and for horse. And I really feel that Dale DeRusso, this was a year where I felt he made a statement. I mean, we're getting horses for him that are coming from top owners, and he is doing really well. His stats are terrific for the young horses. He's done extremely well in many categories, and I do think he's going to establish himself as a real trainer to watch in 2026. So for me, that was a significant shift. I felt it was a coming-of-age type of year. We're looking here at Dixie Law, one of his many successes. but we know that there have been many others. So Piper's Gift we'll talk about too, because I think that he was quite the she was quite the sensation. But as we look ahead to maybe the jockey who I think really impressed me this year, who's also coming of age, I would have to say it's Fraser Abley. I thought he did really well with Josie Carroll's barn and with Mark Cassie's barn and stakes races that he rose to the occasion. We've had many jockeys really do very well this year and make an imprint. Austin Adams has certainly begun to pick up as well, and his rides on Little Teddy were memorable, and I also felt there was success. Eswan Flores made an impression to me. We know that Rafael was phenomenal, and we know that Pietro has been an incredible apprentice. We are delighted for their success. But Fraser Abley, I think, will be a jockey to really watch in the 2026 season, because he's getting opportunities that are really high level. Cruden Bay, a very good example of his win and style. From many different angles he wins races. I'm very delighted for him. I want to mention Piper's Gift because I know the buyer figures to people are important and it's a bit low in some regards, but I was really impressed by the gears that Piper's Gift showed in her races, and I was taken by the fact that this is a Chiefswood horse, and they've done really well, the Chiefswood's ownership this year. Yorkton's the sire. I thought Piper's Gift impressed me in the Glorious Song, was impressive in Princess Elizabeth, and the fact that this horse has now won 4 of 6 is very impressive. The actual manner of some of the winners, like Fire and Sweep, we know was, what was it, Fire and Wine? Yes, thank you, Fire and Wine, thank you. Fire and Wine, was all the way on front end, but what I like about Piper's Gift is the impressive style, able to adapt. I mean, that's just an example. I'm going to watch this horse as a horse to watch for in 2026. We can go on. Marty Drexler had a great year, got under the radar. Bruno Schickedanz has provided us with numerous winners, and we've seen Devin Gittins do very well. We can go on with many, many examples of extremely good seasons for many, many trainers and jockeys. But to me, the biggest impression is the fact that we still have the E.P. Taylor Turf or the Inner Turf as our showcase, and I was really impressed by the fact that we had European winners on the Inner Turf. A great season. I really want to thank our fans for being supportive, and I know that we'll look to a really great E.P. Taylor in 2026.
You know what? You've also brought up a horse that I think has caught a lot of our attention in Piper's Gift. This could be the next big thing.
The fillies, like the Corsia Veloce comes to mind, Dixie Law, like that division is loaded for next year. Like really, and like Fire and Wine might have just stamped himself as the plate favorite right now off that performance in the coronation. But as per usual, the young girls are beating up on the young boys, Robert, and we're kind of used to that. But Robert, thank you as well for giving us some great calls all season long. And maybe next year, Elise and I will make it onto the watch list as people that are kind of impressed with as well.
Somebody on the rise?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Robert's got a busy afternoon. He's got 10 races to call. There are 12 races on the schedule for tomorrow. We're on the countdown. 22 more races left to go in the 2025 racing season and just 19 minutes on the clock before the opener.